It's been a while since I've done one of these. Yet again, I feel like I get the spontaneous ADHD moment, and then I just want to talk about charting. Today I wanted to talk about Diesel's Halcyon D25 Yasabi chart, and it's it's a chart that got my my charting tingly buds, kind of going off. Um, you can see my comments here. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks and I still think about this chart. That's just how much of an impact it's left on me, and I just wanted to talk about why it's such a good chart. And Yasabi bias aside, there's a lot of good things this chart does that I think charters can keep in mind of. Now, it is a D25, so it might be a little bit harder for me to judge, but it's until the very ending that it really ramps up, where I should be able to generally explain most things of it. The first minute isn't really anything out of the question. It's just good charting. We can just enjoy the ride. The trends are these is jump focused with brackets. And this chart definitely has a lot of technical moments. You have your little run segment that like kind of builds up here. His charts feel very like for hand pump and especially very good. Alright, so this basically this first chorus I'm going to be talking about is just overall just very solid flow rhythm, and you're going to tell there's heavy emphasis on the snare when it comes to the audio. And I know he's playing on hand pump, but you would feel the same exact like feeling / tactility if you were to play with like feet. So I'll just let it play here. It completely focuses on the vocal line, and I think in a context like this, these full songs, I think people have a misconception of Pump It Up. Just because it's a D25 doesn't mean it always needs to be hard. An S16 doesn't always have to be like easy or hard, because there's parts that make up the difficulty, where you have the hard parts or the easier parts to retain. And so, to just right off the bat not being difficult, I think is sorry, I should have probably prefaced this in the beginning. The difficulty progression of this chart is freaking amazing. And you're going to see that in the beginning. It's not too difficult, but it's still difficult enough where it gives you a little bit of a challenge while expressing the song in very good ways. It's also just really fucking fun. If you just hear the beats on his hand pump controller. It's a lot. It's like technically this is simple patterns, but you have to move around the pad a lot, which does use more stamina than you'd expect, and it's just fun. You got like very technical stuff here. I feel like if you were to play this like on a pad, it would be fun. I feel like this is typical, like, 23 fill stuff. You have, like, your technical part during, like, the bridge of the song. Okay. This is a trend with the song. You hear the tone sound effect, like the drum snare sound effect, right? So that's a gimmick effect that you're gonna hear that snare a lot in the song. And I would like to think as a hint, because you have it in the first time as a bridge, as an introduction, you're going to see later on the chart, I might have a little bit of some pet peeves where it should have the same gimmick, but they just forgot to put it. They put it there. And again. They have it 3 times. And because there's no more snare sound effect, they don't include it, which is good. Readability for Phoenix-wise, this is probably better, but this could actually really complement well with some gimmicks here too. And I'm saying that because later on the parts in the song, like, he does add more gimmicks, where I think it would complement really well going to the next flow section. It's completely fine by itself, but again, when I think of gimmicks, it's the cherry on top. This is already a beautiful ice cream sundae, so you can just add that strawberry inside of it. You know what I'm saying? On every end beat, there's a snare focus. There's a bracket always, and you don't really hear it in the song. If you've ever watched Step Pua, we call this like the pump license, where it's kind of like that flow. You see this in a lot of rhythm games where it doesn't necessarily have to be matched on something, but the general intuitiveness, both via charting or just how it's presented in a chart, can kind of make that flow intuitive. So I think it's to increase its difficulty here is perfectly reasonable and well done. Honestly, it's just it's to like things like that to just add like complexity and layering to the song. Because again, this song is 130 BPM, so you got to find a way to make it difficult with this technical section by having that because some of these angles are really sharp to hit. By the way, because like if you don't play pump like at a higher level, you might not know, but like I think for at least a kind of side tangent, pump it of difficulty is kind of hard to project for like people that aren't experienced. Hitting this is not easy. I'd like to say that. So this is technically a break-ish, but it's also like a technical part where you can definitely struggle as well. But at this level, you should probably be generally pretty comfortable. So as we get out of this bridge part, I think slight gimmicks would be nice here. Like a little gradual like resting. Going from if you use Air Vortex, 1 is the base speed. But if you change to like maybe a 0.90 going gradually down, I think it'd be just a little bit more, like a little bit of a break mentally. Because this should be the break of the song. There's not many instruments happening. And it's more of a vocal emphasis. And the chart, because of that, also complements it because it's easier. But you can add an extra layer on top of it by adding that gimmick. And this is why gimmicks can be a hit or miss for sure. But I think gimmicks, as he has done it here, shows how well gimmicks can work here. And the reason why I think the gimmick could also work as well is I do like it starts to ramp up as you kind of get to the pre-chorus, like the final part before the chorus, right? But yeah, I think a little bit of a more of a build up because of that gimmick could also complement. Hitting that pattern, by the way, with like real pads would probably be assy. The stutters here. I guess it's an interesting choice. I don't have any complaints about it. I guess it's just a stylistic choice that I guess I'm slightly, you know, it's a little different about. Okay, now I really feel like we need to slow down gimmick a little bit. Chart is very simple here in comparison to before, but you know what I mean. You could slightly feel it here. Alright, this is the final part before getting into the holy shit, I shit my pants when watching this chart part. We're getting to the slowdown here, and basically, here's the thing. I have two problems with it, mainly that it's very run-based because it focuses on the it's kind of, again, pump license. It's not really on the guitar or vocal. It's kind of both of them blended in at the same time, so that kind of makes it hard to sight read. But also, like, you gotta know the song as well on that. And I guess, you know, at this level, you should probably know the song / study it. But, you know, I just feel like it's a part that kind of lacks in comparisons with everything else. Even if, like, the other parts were, like, a generic, like, I don't know, it's generic. Not generic. It's just good flow, good, like, solid stuff. This part needs to be important because it sets up the precedence for the next part, and whether it be a break to generally progress the climax or progress or like hint at what's going to come next. And I guess like it has runs here, like a little bit, very tame ones, but yeah, just this is definitely I think the weakest part of the chart for me. It's super nitpicky, but again, with a chart like of this caliber, I really like, I have to say it because I think this chart could be even better, even though it's so good already. I'm definitely biased as Yosabi, but you know. you can hear that it's it kind of blends with the vocal and guitar. Kind of hard. I maybe just suck at slowdowns. Okay, I have to talk about what I'm going to be talking about here. Well, first of all, fucking amazing staircase for many reasons on top of it. First of all, great flow. It just works well. It follows the piano, and like the gimmick comes out right there. So you're already playing box method. Your right hand side is most of your body mass is going to be on the right side, and as this final part goes, like yog runs or like generally pad runs with doubles, you're going from side to side with your arms. It's fucking flawless, bro. Aside from that, what you're gonna see with this double chorus truly made me realize just how well this chart executes not only difficulty progression from the beginning, because it wasn't that hard like until then. Maybe it was like a 23, 24, but now it's like, okay, this is where obviously all the shit happens, right? So I'm gonna kind of break it down before just showing it, because I feel like there's a lot that can happen without noticing it. The first half of the double chorus, it focuses on the vocal, where instead of 16th notes, because everything was 16th notes until this point, right? They now extend to 24th notes, and then pure, like, you start to feel the emotions pour and leak into the song. I don't know the lyrics of the song, but with all of the instruments flowing in, you definitely feel it when you play it, complementing the chart difficulty and the song. And then at the very second half of the chorus, you truly feel the fucking emotions, the waves pouring in, the 24th notes extending to 32th notes, and not only that, the frequency of which they come is so much more. And then on top of that, those runs are not even as straightforward. There's more difficulty increased with the twists, pad movements, and I'll just let it play at this point, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. I should have probably let the chart play. .24ths. I like this part because it like swings you all the way to the left side again. Whether or not that's intentional. Also, another thing with charting I feel like that's kind of important is symmetry. You want the left side to be complemented by how much you're on the right side. So if you're like 2 measures on the left, it should be 2 measures on the right typically. However, if you're stylistically distinctly picking the left side every time, which this chart actually does 3 times at the ending, then it's either maybe a lack of experience, but I think it's more stylistic choice. Because if you look at the BGA, like the arms are swinging, right? Straightforward runs. You're like, this swinging motion going to the left side is almost, it kind of emulates the BGA if you're holding on to the person. Like you're holding onto the bar, swinging to the left side. I could be overthinking it, but I just think that detail, it's just, this chart's so fucking fun, bro. Because you were on the right side originally, and now you're going from right, left to right. Again, 3 times right there, you're going from the left side. And I think it's more of a hand pump charting style, a little bit. I don't know how well that would translate with pad as much. I mean, his arms are dancing, but I think a little bit more symmetry would probably be a little bit more refined, but it's not bad. I think as you go into the final, like the true double chorus, you need to extend the difficulty here. So that's perfect. You need that overflow to be killed, and then boom. All right, the 32th notes, and this is the first time I watched this chart. I was like, I had goosebumps, and I still have goosebumps when I watch it because this is not only a good Yasabi song, but the 32th verse, if you've seen My Dreams, D22, and stuff like that, it's exactly like that, basically. But just hear it, just watch. And then there's twists. And then there's a lot more weight movement. Alright, okay, problem here, okay. The problem is here, it goes to tech. And there's nothing wrong with tech. My problem is that it doesn't really follow through with the entire run concept. The tech should have started here, because the point where you're at the song, it happens a little bit too early. Maybe like 2 measures a bit too early. Because you have to twist. I feel like here, it could have continued the runs and maybe have brackets. I feel like it's a little too quick to give the player breaks. And I know that sounds a little crazy. I mean, obviously, I probably couldn't fucking do this. I mean, it looks ridiculous. But we're playing D25 here. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's a little too forgiving. I think maybe, I mean, not like this like much leniency with the tech. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is easy or easy to hit, but it's just my overall feeling, you know? And then tech, this part onwards, it's fine. But I'm saying here, no. Continue that run concept. Maybe if you want to slow it down, but then you should be still moving around the pad, in my opinion. You can lower the complexity or the notes per second, but that's just how I feel. That's perfect. And then going to the very ending, you have just more tech runs and stuff like that. My only problem again here is that you heard the tongue sound effect. You remember how I told you about the snare in the beginning? Yeah, they forgot to add the gimmick. And they forgot there too. I would say since you're out of gimmicks, you should just... Right there, you should just fast forward that note and just just do something fancy, get rid of the note immediately. Or maybe make a heart or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, honestly, I love this chart, and I wanted to talk about it because it got my creative juices flowing. I hope you guys liked it as much as I did, because oh my god, I want to play this chart. Bro, I know this is your chart. Do you have a... If you're watching this, please upload your zip files. I want to play. Cheba, 감사합니다. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. A verdict, fucking... It's such a simple concept. Well, simple, but just so fucking effective. Because it follows the pump license. The song doesn't have 24th notes, but by inflating the difficulty, this is such a smart way to do it with like the da-da-da-da feeling. And it's so fun. I think it follows the drum, does it? And so how I know it's 24th is I took it to Arrow Vortex. So that's the first chorus. It follows 24th notes, and then the ending is 32ths. God, I want a chart like that too. That's so fucking good, dude. I think, yeah, I'm more looking at it, there's some things that are like definitely like, there's some like slightly unpolished areas, mainly with, again, that part. And it could be a stylistic choice, again, with like 3 times the twist are on the left side, but I feel like most of the time it should probably be back and forth. Because the runs follow that trend. But I love the extension. Because you could have done the same thing. You could have done 24th notes. 24th notes, more frequency. But no, you went all out. 32th notes, gimmick, more frequency, twists, more weight movement with your arms. And that to me is fucking awesome progression. And in conclusion, I want to play this chart.